Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Crypto Stu here in the Crypto Stu studio. This video is going to be a little different. This one's really not about crypto. It is about money, and it's a crypto stew. It's like a pot. There's a lot of stuff in it, And any dollar you save on something is another dollar you have available to buy Bitcoin if you so choose. So I had to buy a car. I bought a 2023 Nissan Rogue. It wasn't for me, it was for my wife. But I saved some money on it, I think, and I wanted to go over it in case any of you are in the market to buy a car. I know buying a car right now can be a little difficult. I bought it about 7 months ago when it was even more difficult. But I wanted to let me first tell you a story, okay? The story is I have a friend, a very good friend, who was a door guy at a bar for many years. The guy who checks IDs and stuff, the door guy. He was the door guy at a bar for many, many years, longer than probably anyone has ever been the door guy at a bar. He was the door guy at a bar. And he aspired to become a bartender, but it was taking forever, just many years as a door guy at the bar. But while he had that job, on his nights off, he would always frequent the neighboring establishments, the bars and restaurants in the area. And he would go and meet the waitstaff there, have a few drinks, and he always left a good tip. People loved him. He would go from bar to bar on a night off, and everywhere he goes, everybody knew him, and he was very popular in the community. And then one day it happened. He was actually moved up to bartender from being a door guy for a very long time. And what happened then was all of the people in the neighboring bars and restaurants wanted to reciprocate for him taking care of them all those years. So they showed up at his bar and they were all buying drinks and leaving him big tips and stuff. And he cleaned up. And I remember telling him that I said, I know you didn't do this on purpose, but you fell into the perfect strategy for this job. I mean, just by getting to know because all the in the biz people, they tend to be bigger drinkers and good tippers. They're the people you want at your bar. And by doing what he did, which was just going to all these other bars around the area all the time and leaving good tips and getting to know everybody and just being this member of the community for so many years, it ended up being the best strategy to do well at the bartending job. And if I knew somebody who was trying to get into bartending, that's what I would tell them. I'd say, go to the surrounding bars and get to know the other waitstaff. They'll come by your place. It's a very good strategy for doing well at the job. So I think I had a similar thing with this car. I didn't really have a strategy. I was just living my life, but I think I fell into a good strategy for getting a decent price on the car. So that's how the story relates to this. And so I want to go over how it went. So first, my wife totaled her car, so we had to get a new car. We didn't have much time. I had just gotten the check from the insurance company for the totaled car, so I was paying cash, and I just needed to get a car. First piece of advice I would have is to go to a reputable dealership. You can do that just by looking at reviews of the dealerships near you, any dealership that's close enough that you might go to them. Make sure, because there are not reputable dealerships out there that will do a lot of bait and switch and stuff like that. Don't even walk into those places, and you'll see from the reviews they'll have a lot of complaints online. Don't even go into those places. So first, find a reputable dealership, and then the rest. This was actually true. We went to this. She did a lot of online shopping and decided on maybe the Nissan Rogue would be right for her, and that is the car we ended up buying. We bought a 2023 Nissan Rogue. My review of the car, just in case anyone's in the market for one, it's a great chick car. It's kind of a small SUV. If you're a full-size man, like 5'10" or higher, 5'10" or taller, I don't think it's the right car for you. You'll look too big compared to the car. But for a woman who has 2 kids or less, I think it's a great car. Drives great, really just a great car. The only 2 really minor complaints I have about it are, 1, it doesn't have a compass on the dash, which is just something I like to have. And 2, it doesn't tell you when you need an oil change, which I don't really understand because my 2010 Camaro would tell me when I needed an oil change, and that's 13 years later, and this car doesn't. But those are 2 very minor things, and I don't really carry the weight since I'm not the one driving it. But so 2023 Nissan Rogue is what we settled on. We found a reputable dealership. We showed up at the dealership, and we said, we have 1 hour, all right? We want to test drive the Nissan Rogue. We only have an hour, and then we have to go pick up our kid. And what I recommend saying is something like that. I don't care if you have a kid or not. You can still say, I have to go pick up my kid. I only have an hour. But limit the amount of time you're going to be there. The reason for that is I've had bad experiences in the past with them trying to stretch out the negotiation. I think it's some kind of tactic the dealerships use. Like the more time you're there, the more likely you are to actually buy it because you'll feel like you wasted their time, kind of thing. So don't even play that game. Tell them you can only be there for an hour. All right, that I think worked very much in my favor, was limiting the amount of time we could stay. So we test drove the car, and she liked it. And the guy asked if we have a trade-in, and I didn't have a trade-in, but because the car was totaled. But I did not tell them the car was totaled because you don't want them to know that you're desperate to buy a car. Okay, so I said, yeah, we got a friend who's interested in buying the car, so we're not trading anything in. Okay, so I want to go over the numbers because that's what's really interesting here. So this first picture, I took this from the car. Okay, this picture was from the car. I took this through the window. This was the sticker on the car. So the car has a retail price of $31,150. They have a supply chain hardship. Are you kidding me? I don't know if dealerships are still doing this. They were doing this 7 months ago. I think some of them still are. Nissan lifetime value package full of a bunch of stuff I don't care about. Permaplate, I don't even know what that is. And so a $31,000 car is now $41,000. I mean, okay. So we go sit down. I say, well, let's talk some numbers. Maybe we can come to some agreement. And he says, okay, well, here's. I said, all I care about is the out the door price. I don't care about anything else, just out the door price. All the crap you're going to throw on it, I want to know the out the door price. So he says, okay, well, here's the numbers on the car, and this is what he shows me. All right, so $31,000 car, the lifetime value package, supply chain hardship, total purchase. It comes to $43,000, and I go, okay. We're way too far apart. All right, I knew the MSRP on the car. I said, it was $31,000. I never dreamed it would go to this high. I said, thanks for your time. Everyone's being really nice, and I really meant it. I go, we're way too far apart. There's no point of you negotiating. I said, like, that's it. Like, well let's just go. All right. So he says, wait. He goes, let me talk to the guy. All right, and he leaves the room for 30 seconds, probably to go straighten his pants or something, and then he comes back with this one. Okay, now we're down to $36,000 from a previous of $43,000. That's a huge reduction. Okay, and notice how everything's gotten cheaper along the way. I still have the lifetime value package, which I don't even care about. And I go 36. I go, yeah, really, honestly, it's still more than I was looking to pay. I'll think about it. And I say, well, look, we got to go pretty soon, so I'll think about it, and that's that. He goes, wait. He leaves the room again. He comes back with this. 32.5 is now the thing. It still has the lifetime value pack. It still has everything that the previous car had. All right, I don't know what any of this stuff is, but it has all of it. 32.5. Now remember, they started at 43.2, and they're already down to 32.5. That is a huge reduction. And I said, well, all right, now the hour was up. I said, we have to go pick up our kid. And I left. I said, look, I'll call you tomorrow. They said, yeah, the price is good for a day. I said, we're still test driving some other cars, and I'll let you know. So I call him the next day, and I tell him, well, look, the price is pretty good. She likes the car. We're looking at some other models. It's important that, especially when you're test driving, when you're talking to the guys, that you mention some other models that you're looking at, and even know the names of other cars that are similar to that car that are made by other makers that you're looking at, because they want to know that if they're competing with someone else and somebody might undercut them, they'll give you a better price. That's the way I see it. So I said, the 32.5 is pretty good. We're still looking at some other cars. I want you to see if he'll take another $1,000 off the price. He goes, well, we're giving you a good deal. I said, I know, but ask. It doesn't hurt to ask. Ask him if he'll take another $1,000 of the price. And that's when they did the smartest thing they could have done. He put me on hold for 2 minutes, and he came back, and he goes, yeah, they said yes. So I asked for $1,000 off, and they took $1,000 off. All right. So this was what I paid for the car. So 31.5. Now I want you to notice that there's a lot of stuff missing here. All the stuff that was on the car came with the car, like this lifetime value package that they wanted all that money for a car. They said they can't take that off even if they want to. Now I don't know if that's true for all dealerships, but for this dealership, they said that's on all their cars. They can't take it off even if they want to. It's not on the numbers here, but the car did come with it. And so it came with everything that it came with before, and we're out the door for 31.5. So I focused on the out the door price the entire time. Now, if you get to this point, and then you're like, you know what? Hey, that friend who isn't interested told out he's not interested in the car. I do have a trade. At least you're working on your trade based on this price, right? That's your price that they'll be deducting the trade from. And if they don't give you a good price on the trade, you can sell your car privately. But I will say about selling a car privately, It is hell on earth. I don't know if you've ever sold a car privately, but it's awful. You get a bunch of jerk-offs who just come by, kick the tires, tell you everything that's wrong with the car and how you're asking too much money. These people have no intention of buying the car. They're just here to waste your time. There are a lot of retired guys who just like picking on cars in their spare time. It's hell on earth. Like selling a car privately is awful. So even if you got to take a hit on the trade, I still recommend trading a car in rather than selling it yourself. But that's up to you, whether you want to go through the headache. But I didn't have a trade here because my wife's car was totaled. Okay, so then it comes to financing. Now, when we went from here to here, I did tell them that I was paying cash, but I would finance the car if it helps them out. Because I know dealerships have certain incentives for financing and getting cars financed. And so I said, if it helps you, I'll finance it. Otherwise, I'll just write a check for the $31,500 because I have the insurance check from the totaled car. I said because I have the money. They said, yeah, it helps us if you finance. So they needed to go through my social and all that stuff. And we financed the car. I said, as long as there's no fee for paying early. So there was no fee for paying early. So we had a deal, $31,500. And that was the deal I got on the car. So if you're in the market for a 23 Nissan Rogue, this is what I paid. So if maybe you can do better now, because I know it's 7 months later, you could probably do better. They're going to have some more incentives and stuff like that. But at least you should know you should do at least this well. And remember, it did come with that lifetime package and all that garbage. Okay, so I wrote down what you should get out of this video. All right, I liked this. This, I think, really helped me. You only have an hour and you want to do a test drive. That really helped. The other is you mention a few other models that you're looking at and have the names of other models that are similar to that car that you are looking at. Tell them you're in no hurry to buy. This should be too. Even if you are in a hurry to buy. If you look like you're in a hurry to buy, you're not going to get as good a deal. Leave with their best price that day, and then the next day ask for a reduction. I think that really worked out well. I don't think that's something that car guys recommend, but for me, I think that really worked out. And this, I know some car guys do recommend this, to be focusing on the out-the-door price, and don't discuss financing or trade-in until that price is finalized. That all, I think, is very helpful if you're buying a car. But the main thing I wanted to focus on is I want you to notice what crap this initial offer was. And don't be intimidated by this sticker if this is more than you can afford. And don't be intimidated by this opening price, because they will come all the way down to this if you just keep saying no. Because I think people are being intimidated out of even looking for a car because they're doing this to people. They're showing them all these crap fees, all right, that they don't even, that aren't real. So forget all that and just, if what you can afford is this, then try to get it down to that. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Okay? So that's what I was hoping to get out of the video. Maybe some of this might have helped somebody save a little bit of money. And that's pretty much it on the... Oh, wait, there was one thing. When I was financing the car, so I had to give him my social and everything, and the car salesman said, yeah, we ran your credit. You have the highest credit score of anyone I've ever seen. And I said, well, thank you. And then... I said, well, just pay your bills on time. And he goes, no. He says, I pay my bills on time, and my credit score is nowhere near this. And I'm not saying this. Then the other thing that happened is the finance guy came out, and he said that he's done a minimum of 100 deals a month for the past 10 years, and he's never seen a credit score as high as mine. Now, I am not saying this to brag. I am saying this because I believe there are certain things in my credit report that make my credit score so high, and some of it you can emulate, but I'm not going to get into that in this video. My next video is going to be why my credit score is so high and what you can do to make yours higher. And it's not for people with lousy credit. This is an investment channel. I don't think any of you probably have lousy credit. It's for people with above average credit who want to have great credit. I think I can help them with a couple of tips on how to get your credit better. So that's what my next video is going to be about. Okay, and so that's it for this video. That's the deal I got on a 2023 Nissan Rogue, which is a car I highly recommend. It's a good chick car, and if you're a dude in the market for this car, I am sorry I'm calling it a chick car. Yes, I do have to give you the tip on the amount of change for the Bitcoin giveaway from the last video. If you haven't watched that video, you should watch it. I'm doing a Bitcoin giveaway from that video. You have to guess how much change is in the picture. My tip is that the amount, because I used Coinstar to cash it out, the amount is a whole number, meaning there's no change in it. So, like, don't guess 1105, 1100 $5.51. Don't guess that, because then you won't get the on the nose. The on the nose number will have 00 as the last two. It'll be 0.00. Right? So only guess in whole dollar amounts, because that's what it is. It's the whole dollar amount. So don't guess with change. Now, I know that seems like a lame tip, but I did just eliminate 99% of the possible guesses out there by saying that they all end in 00. So yes, there's no change in the guess of how much change there is. And that's it for the video. Until next time, Crypto Stu, signing off.